Hi cuties, my name is Hanako Kozumi and this is the channel Nerdy Nekoma. Everything here is about Haikyuu chat stories and fanfic. Thanks for joining us today. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. And with that, welcome to today's video. In other words, the second part of Vagabonds at Dawn. I'm so incredibly excited to do this again. As you know, this is the first thing on my channel that was not written by me, and I feel so incredibly honored that I'm allowed to make this into a video. The link for the original is in the description. It is a bit more spicy than what I can put on YouTube, so basically the uncensored version is on AO3. Check it out, and now let's get to the video. Have you ever had struggles finding good Haikyuu merch or anime merch in general? Because I for sure did. It can be hard. But this shop offers amazing merch. Like, I'm literally obsessed with the Haikyuu merch. They have the cutest hoodies ever. Now, if you want to get 10% off, click the link in the description. They offer me a collaboration which is literally amazing. And you support my channel this way. So, win-win. Let's go. Before he could voice his complaint, Bokuto sagged his shoulders with a certain realization. Watery eyes wide and unmoving. Oh shit. Fuck. Bokuto exhaled dreamily. Princ Akaashi stood off to the side, in a thicket of dark amber and yellow summer leaves, holding the natural drapes open for the two of them. Their mates gasped desperately for breath, eyes blowing wide with disbelief. Kenma emerged behind him slowly, hesitantly, before his eyes landed on Koro with cat-like precision, and in no time at all, the smaller man ran across the clearing, pouncing up to the other, his dagger back to grab for purchase, the silver-tipped axe sinking into the heel of the bladed grass. Bokuto blinked to life, his body uprooting from his grounded state, the shock and awe still riddling in his bones, finding the mobility, finally, in his legs to dash forward at the same time as the other. He is here. He's right here, and he's trembling in his arms. He's grabbing at him as desperately as Bokuto, and that alone was enough. Akaashi! He cries out intelligently. He was never one to address formalities, royal or not, nor the fact the hush of the palace, this early in dawn, should heed a warning to be quiet, as the booming excitement of his voice could be heard all throughout the entire land. Careless palms cupped a plump, tearful face. He swept his thumb over the expanse of Keiichi's warm cheeks. Dark, wet lashes hiding crystalline eyes. He wasn't any better off, what with his welling yellow eyes threatening to spill, brewing into a reflection like a warm glass of mead in the rising sun, a trembling bottom lip caught between sharp teeth, and undoubtedly trying to hold back senseless bubble. Bokuto, Bokuto, Bokuto. It was all Keiichi could say then, his brain so rooted in everything Katara, nothing else mattered. He's whispering his name like a mantra, a prayer of breathless whispers into the skin of his neck, holding on to him so tightly, so absolutely no amount of space would put distance between them again. He had half a mind to try not to swallow him whole. He bunched his fists into the thin white cloth, barely covering the lean muscles beneath, hot wet tears stamping the loose fabric. Bokuto whispers, loudly, the best he could do while trembling with the overwhelming emotions, and he tilts the other's chin higher to look between those ocean green eyes. No, why hear you crying." His brows furrowed passionately, genuine concern etching his face. A hypocrite to his own single tear that had escaped. Keiji sobs out a wet chuckle, hands running up a broad chest and around his neck. "I missed you. And by the time I realized I couldn't let you go, couldn't live without you, I thought it was too late. And I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I'm right here. Look at me, Kashi. I'm right fucking here." He spoke into the little space between them, strong hands holding his head gently, the same hands that maimed unruly men and waged wars against powerful nations, the same hands that stroked the raven strands of hair wet from the sweat of his forehead behind his ears so softly as if any rough movement would ruin him completely. Bokuto could almost laugh. He was so utterly whipped with that man, so familiar with everything that reminded him of him that he was absolutely ruined to be with anyone else. There was no one like Keiji, and he was a fool of a man to even think otherwise, to even think he'd be able to saddle his horse and continue on their journey as if he didn't just met the love of his goddamn life nearly a year ago in an underground tavern, throwing knives and drowning shots with reckless abandon. "Not going anywhere. I wouldn't be able to, especially if Shiroi had anything to say about it." Bokuto used that as an excuse to glance back over to his horse, who chuffed and shoved her hooves confidently into the dirt. He had a hard time reining her into the clearing, as if she somehow sensed an injustice that morning as well. To her benefit, he might have to feed her an extra apple. Cerulean eyes swam with gentle waves, an ocean, a tsunami, a Trojan horse, a potential danger. Such unrivaled beauty drawn Bokuto completely. Keiji leaped up on his feet, and Bokuto had half a mind to snap out of his drunken haze and meet him the rest of the way. Their lips met with a fervent desperation. Like crashing waves against a sandy shore, they pushed and pulled at each other. Bokuto's lips are naturally chapped and rough against the soft pink of his own. He imagined it's because of the training and constant conditioning, but he couldn't imagine it any other way. The kiss deepened. "Not here," he says, subtly trying to catch his breath and ignore the way Bokuto's firm body pressed against his. Licking his smirking lips, he says, "Right, yeah, okay." He smoothed back raven hair and planted a kiss on his forehead. "Oh no, we were quite enjoying the show. Don't let us stop you." Kuro says somewhere from behind them, and a cold realization washed over Keiji, but Bokuto seemed to not give an absolute fuck. He supposed Bokuto wouldn't have a reason to, as their culture, their tribe, was completely different from Keiji's own, and if any of the rumors he heard were true, then this was just as normal an interaction as gathering for a Koopa. Bokuto laughed, heartedly, a boisterous, joyful sound. This sound rang against Keiji's eardrums from the proximity, but he couldn't stomach to tell him not to. Joy was as natural to Bokuto as breathing. Who was he to deny him that in any way? Kuro and Kemma situated themselves up from the ground now, having been busy themselves after Kemma tackled him to the ground. Bokuto held Keiji by the waist, not yet ready to let go as he spoke to Kuro. Something about sitting up, eating on the road, but Keiji was too preoccupied to focus. His eyes were lured by a shimmering glint in the corner of his eye. Directly in his line of sight, a golden band sparkled and branched into other parts of the wooden ring in intricate patterns, activated, it seemed, under the morning honeydew of light. Bound by a leather string sitting in the center of his chest at the slope between Bokuto's clavicles. Keiji furrowed his brows, interested in the way the ring called to him, not unlike how Bokuto's soul had in the forest. Ko, your necklace, it's glowing. Owlish eyes widened at the words, his attention immediately snapping down at the ring, then to Keiji. Waves of cold Arctic water and sunrays of the tropics crash against him as he progressively realized several things at once. The barbarian's lips pulled up into a wide, feral grin. Keiji furrows his brows, near skeptical in the way Bokuto smiled. It's the same smile he had when he sauntered up to him in the bar that night and proclaimed with all the confidence of a sappy drunk, "I'm gonna marry ya one day." And when Keiji flipped him with a heavy thud on his back, he did absolutely nothing but smile that feral, satisfied grin, like he knew something certain that Keiji didn't. Oh. Bokuto. Akaashi. Bokuto untied the ring from the string, yellow eyes studying wavery blue, and not the way the ring glows brightly, happily under his touch. He's holding it tight, shaking just the slightest. Kotaro, he said, a bit more firmly, looking over his shoulder to see Kuro bend down and lift a strand of hair to whisper something into Kemma's ear, undoubtedly filling him in on what was happening. Are you...
1, 2, 3, and...
Thank you for watching to the end. I hope you liked it. I know that was kind of a mean part to end at like the moment. I'm sorry, but I promise the next part will be up very soon. It's going to get a lot more fluffy from here on. I hope you stay tuned because I really enjoy this piece and I enjoy making it, and the author is just amazing. Now, if you liked it, please consider leaving a like because it really helps my channel grow, and if you don't want to miss out on anything in the future, like the third part for example, consider subscribing, and now I hope you have a wonderful and amazing day.